For months now, several of you have been leaving me the same comment on my videos. I have had straight hair my entire life until menopause. And at first I was like, what? Then I saw it again and again and again. So I did what I always do. I went down the research rabbit hole to find out if menopause can actually change the shape of your hair. I mean, how is it possible to go from pin straight hair to looking like you're part of an 80s rock hair band? And now, for the first time in your life, you've got this wavy hair and you don't know what to do with it. Thankfully, my waves have always been here, but a lot of you told me that yours showed up uninvited. So let's investigate this, shall we? Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome to La Paz Bound. Other than some thinness in the front of my hair and the change in color when I let the gray grow out 5 years ago, I wasn't aware of this phenomenon of straight to wavy in menopause or even in perimenopause. The first question that I researched is, why does menopause make straight hair wavy? It doesn't happen to everyone. In doing the research, some women even say, my curly hair is becoming straight. For others, it may be that their hair gets sparse in certain areas, which is happening to me. And I've heard from some of you saying your hair is getting coarser. Then there's those of you that are in the lucky category of nothing has changed with your hair. We finally get to the point in our lives where we stop having monthly periods and debilitating cramps, and now we've got a whole slew of other issues to deal with, including mysterious wave patterns. So the first and probably the most obvious answer that I found is fluctuation in hormones, specifically estrogen. The answer isn't as simple as blaming estrogen, although she definitely deserves some of the blame. It turns out there are several hormones working behind the scenes, along with genetics and aging and stress and sleep and even nutrition. But let's start with estrogen because she's usually the first one that people point the finger at. So a drop in estrogen can do several things to our hair. Estrogen is responsible for regulating how much oil we're producing, not just in our hair, but also our skin. For me, one of the biggest changes has been dryness. 5 years ago, I developed eczema on my arms. My scalp became much drier, and I realized that menopause wasn't just changing my hair, it was changing my skin too. Lower estrogen can also cause your hair to become brittle, more coarse, more frizzy. You may notice that you're losing more hair in the shower as well. Hormones play a big role in the hair growth cycle and appear to influence how hair follicles behave. So researchers believe that hormonal changes may influence the shape and behavior of the hair follicle, which could explain why some women notice their hair becoming wavier, or in some cases, losing its curl. So hormones could definitely be the culprit, although dietary changes can play a role in hair texture too, such as low-fat diets. Even poor sleep and stress can impact your hair follicles. So besides estrogen, there are other hormones, insulin, thyroid, androgens. They can also change your wave or curl pattern. So it may not be one single hormone that's affecting your follicles. But when the balance shifts in your hormones due to perimenopause or menopause, your hair follicles may pay the price. Okay, so what now? What do I do? If your texture has changed, here's where you may want to start. The good news is that while we can't control our hormones unless we start HRT, but not all women can or want to go on hormone replacement therapy, we can change the way that we care for our hair. And sometimes that's all it takes to make your hair look and feel so much better. I mean, I did a big chop, even a little bit more since you last saw me, to get back to who I used to feel like. One of the hardest parts about menopause is that we may still be using the same products and the same routines we've always used, but our hair has changed. We expect it to behave the way it did at age 30, and then we get frustrated when it doesn't. If you now have waves when you used to have straight hair, my advice, stop fighting them. Seriously, put down the flat iron for just a minute and see what happens if you work with your new texture instead of against it. You've got waves now. Let's embrace it. Use my Wave formula that I link in all of my video descriptions. It's free, and hopefully it helps you figure out what products you need for this new hair of yours. One thing that I've learned from testing dozens of products is that fine wavy hair usually doesn't want heavy butters and oils. It often responds better to lightweight ingredients and a little bit of hydrolyzed rice, wheat, or vegetable protein. Besides the imbalance of hormones, age plays a big part in the texture of our hair. When your hair isn't producing the oil that it once was, and your hair starts to go gray, it can be wiry, coarse, and less shiny. You don't have as much oil to coat and smooth your hair. And because most wavies and curlies don't brush their hair, what little oil we are still producing is not being distributed throughout. And gray hair is actually smaller in diameter to other colors. In my case, my hair is white. It is devoid of melanin, which plays an important role in the color of your hair. Hair texture can also change due to thyroid issues and vitamin deficiencies. Personally, I take vitamin D3 and B12 every day. Did you know that stress and poor sleep may be other culprits for why your hair might be changing texture? We know that stress, hormones, and poor sleep affect our entire body, so it's not surprising that they can affect our hair too. Now, I have learned to slow way down. I don't need to be on the go all the time like I did when I was younger. I'm a contractor, and weekends are my only free time. And one thing that I have started doing is reading books again to relax. I will lounge on the couch on a Sunday afternoon, especially since it rains every day here in Tampa in the summer. I will pick up a book from my husband's extensive library and take a few hours to read, which sometimes leads into napping. I do like a good nap on the weekends. Another thing that I've been doing to combat all the thoughts running through my head when I lay down at night is to take a deep breath, and when I exhale, I relax my entire body and I go limp. Now, I may have to do it a couple of times, and it might sound kooky, but it really does work until I wake up 3 hours later when I have to pee. Should we talk about the hair that's not on your head? I know you didn't ask, but I do talk about hair on this channel, and we might as well address the other hair that you may not want on your body, starting with your face, specifically your chin. Enter another hormone, testosterone. So your hormones are going wackadoodle during menopause. Estrogen is that friend who slinks out of the party at 9:30, goes home, washes her face, takes off her bra, climbs into bed. Testosterone just ordered another round of shots and invited everyone back to your chin. These partygoers on your chin are caused by an excess of male hormones. According to the British Journal of Dermatology and a group of postmenopausal women, 39% experienced excess growth of facial hairs, mostly on the chin. Another report published in Menopausal Health in 2009 noted that in a group of 656 American women aged 50 to 79, extra facial hairs was present in 33% of women aged 50 to 59, and in 54% of women aged 60 to 69. So cheers! In my next decade of life, I get to deal with 20% more hair on my face. Yay! Go me! If your hair suddenly looks nothing like it did 10 years ago, you're not imagining it. You're not doing anything wrong. Your hair may simply be responding to hormonal changes. And the good news is that understanding why it changed is the first step toward learning how to work with it instead of fighting it. So just remember, our hair changes, our skin changes, our bodies change. Maybe instead of fighting those changes, we try to learn how to work with them. My hair today doesn't look like it did 20 years ago. It's finer around the hairline, it's white, and menopause has definitely thrown me a few curveballs. But I've also learned more about my hair in the last year than in the previous, 40 to 50 years. If menopause has changed your hair, you're not imagining it. And you're definitely not alone. I swear by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hasta luego, my friends.